Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, September 9th. It's just after 10 o'clock in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time. I want to welcome everybody here this morning. This is an open door, and on Tuesdays, we go through the daily lessons of A Course in Miracles. This morning, we are progressing along. We are on lesson 49, God's Voice Speaks to Me throughout the day. I am moved this morning to do a couple of different things. So I'm going to take us through each lesson with our eyes closed as we have been doing. And then I'm going to take us through a brief meditation. And I'm going to read a little bit from the guide's latest book, A World Made New. And I'm going to do that with our eyes closed, still just in contemplation and silence. And then I'm going to end by reading a beautiful poem that came from Emergence magazine. And there's a part in the poem that really speaks to silence. And it's just 2 lines in the whole poem, but it's really beautiful. So I thought I would share that. So that's what we're going to do this morning. So just settle in your seat and know that I'm happy to be here with you. I'm going to turn my video off and we'll begin. We are on lesson 49. So as the illustrious Cindy has brought us to this point where she reads the first 50 lessons, and I'm working on deciding whether to read the review lessons or not. I'll see what comes up. But we begin with lesson 1. This morning, feel the way the words of the lesson. For those of you who are just joining us, please turn your cameras off. I'm going to be reading the lessons, and feel the way the words of the lesson resonate in your body, because A Course in Miracles is very similar, or the way that it works is very similar to what the guides say. The words have resonance. So I invite you this morning as we read to, if you haven't already been doing this, just pay a little deeper attention to the way the words resonate. Nothing I see means anything. I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts do not mean anything. I'm never upset for the reasons I think. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. A meaningless world engenders fear. God did not create a meaningless world. My thoughts are images I have made. I have no neutral thoughts. I see no neutral things. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I am determined to see. I am determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I do not perceive my own best interests. I do not know what anything is for. My attack thoughts are attacking my own invulnerability. Above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see things differently. God is in everything I see. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. I am not a victim of the world I see. I have invented the world I see. There is another way of looking at the world. I could see peace instead of this. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness blesses the world. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. My holiness is my salvation. I am blessed as a son of God. God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength, and vision is God's gift. God is my source. I cannot see apart from God. God is the light in which I see. God is the mind in which I think. God is the love in which I forgive. God is the strength in which I trust. There is nothing to fear. God's voice speaks to me all throughout the day. Remember last week's lesson, there is nothing to fear. Please apply this lesson for today's teaching. Today's lesson was among those I found most challenging at first. What if I don't hear a voice? What if I fail? The answer was really simple. I was trying too hard. I was looking in the wrong place. You cannot fail at today's lesson. You cannot not hear the voice for God. The voice for God may be experienced differently. I have known teachers who smelled fields of flowers. Some may perceive words, some may have a feeling. Our own Richard points to silence as the voice for God. If you can sit quietly and say to yourself, I like myself. I am happy with myself. I am good. If you feel the certainty of these words, you are hearing the voice for God. Part of your mind is in constant communion and communication with Source, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. The part that is not aware is absorbed by functions in this world, and it obeys its laws. This part of the mind is constantly distracted, uncertain of itself, and disorganized. Why? Because the world is disorganized. That is its purpose. If you see this, and if you accept it, you become free to see beyond it. The mind that is in touch with its source is calm, always at rest, and wholly certain. It is content to ask and then listen. It is content to ask and then be and allow. It is content to expect nothing, but to make room for everything. Often the feeling is simple satisfaction. Rest assured, you are in the frequency of Source anytime you feel peace. The voice for God needs no effort and no work to hear. Indeed, trying too hard gets in the way. Be still, be still, be still. Be here, be here, be here. You have never left. Today's practice consists of 4 5-minute periods. Let's do one now. Place your awareness gently on the breath. Just notice. You don't have to effort anything. Breathing happens on its own. Just notice. Witness it. Relax in it. Now say in your mind, God's voice speaks to me all throughout the day. Watch the breath gently and be still. You know yourself as the silence. You are familiar with the emptiness, the limitless space. You know this as your center. In this space, in this witnessing awareness, would God's voice be a sound you would hear with the body's ears? From this silent, open awareness, how would you know the voice for God? There is no perfect answer. Just ask and see what arises. The guides tell us, now, some of you would say, give me the evidence as I want it. Give me the voice as I would have it be. Let me recognize the voice for God speaking to me now. But this evidence, this kind of evidence, has actually been procured through the lower field, or the idea of things as they should be. And this includes hearing the divine voice for God that comes as you think it should. It does not come as you think it should, because it's eternal. It always expresses in that accord, in the same accord, come through you individually, yes, but the sound of the divine and the tone of the divine does not differentiate as you would have it. It simply is. It simply is. The purpose of these practices is integration. The ideas need to be integrated into your very being, what you might call your mind. And we need to stop often during the day, where God's voice, as Richard says, truly is silence. That is when it is known. That is when it is heard. What does it sound like for you now? This is a poem called P Apology, PEA Apology. I am sorry to the peas that I watered so quickly each morning that I did not see the 6 pods till Sunday, till I sat down, and there they were, all grown. I am sorry for this way. I am sorry for not responding to your text in time and for interrupting our conversation to say hi to an old friend who had just walked in, who, you must understand, I had not seen in years. And I am sorry to the Beats, who on that Sunday afternoon finally screamed, "We are thirsty," screamed with the way they turned their purple stems to the sky, a whimsical thicket that we would delight in if we were small enough. And if I water them before the cruel noon has finished staring them down, then maybe their vast leaves will unfurl and will forgive me. As I finally pull out a blank piece of paper and write back to you, there has just been too much to say and not enough quiet, though I know that cannot be my excuse if the Beats do not make it through June. And if you stop believing that I am right here on the other end of all these postal services and all of this reaching, because attention is so much more like water than anyone told me. It is just as hard to hold enough of it in our palms to let someone else have some. Even when the garden is so much worthier than where my mind goes, and you so much more holy. Because attention is so much more like water than anyone told me. It is just as hard to hold enough of it in our palms to let someone else have some. Even when the garden is so much worthier than where my mind goes, and you so much more holy. God's voice speaks to me all throughout the day. It sings, it vibrates, it pushes, it pulls. It arises when we least expect it. Attention is so much more like water. Thank you for being here. When you're ready, come on back.